Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm gonna go through the sounds that I used in my Dune music tutorial. A lot of you have been asking me to do a breakdown of the sounds I used, so I've got the session open here. Let's go through it and hope it helps. Alrighty, so let's have a look. What I'll do is I'll just play it once through, we'll have another listen to it, do a bit of a refresher, and then I'll break down each sound that I used. So we've got some synths, we've got, our piano, our string section, brass, and then our drums. Yeah, so we'll have a quick listen and we'll take it from there. Pretty cool. I remember doing this. Oh, it's been a big year. I worked on some short films, did some feature films, did some fun soundtracks. So sorry I haven't been back on YouTube in a little while. It's been a busy one. But I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to get this out there for you guys. A lot of you have been asking me, so I hope it helps you guys. So let's start. I'll just start from the top and work our way down. So, first thing we have the sounds I'm using, most of them are just the stock sounds within Ableton. So, and I've got a few string libraries, like Albion. I'm pretty sure that's all I use for the strings. I may have used action strikes for the drums and brass. Anyway, so let's work our way through it. So from the top, piano, it's just the grand piano from Ableton. There's my settings. Next we have our synth bass. So for that I used the burned bass. There's my settings there. That's also just a sound from Ableton. So if you go to sounds, I think it's in the bass section. Where is it? Burned bass. I'm a little bit blind. Forgot my glasses. That's also a new thing. That's also a new development. I've got glasses now, which I should be wearing. There it is. So burned bass I used for one of our bass synths. Granite. What is this? Alright, Granite Shard. That's all these sounds are within Ableton. There's my settings. I don't think I touched this one that much. I may have just done a frequency. I may have just mucked around with the frequencies. What have I done here? I've pitched it down an octave. Oscillated 2, I don't think I've touched. Okay, and I've duplicated the Granite. And for the second Granite, okay, see that one's not Granite, that is analog bass. So that one, and I've chucked a big reverb on that, it seems, which sounds like this. So it's analog bass. That's also pitched down an octave, which you can get to from just moving around the MIDI notes anyway. So you don't have to pitch it down with MIDI. You can just move around the notes, and it doesn't really matter. But I've also added a big reverb to that. There's my settings there. Feel free to take your screenshots and all that kind of stuff. Do it to your own on your own session, or pause the video. Whatever you like. Synth lead. So I've got a few leads. So before the plunge. So a lot of these I've got big reverbs on them to make them sound huge, and then the idea is you play them all back together and then you get one big synth. Alright, so there's our synth lead. Let's see if I remember how to play this. What I can do for you guys as well. Oh, you go back to the tutorial video and you'll see, you know, all the notes I did. That'll be a better indicator, so you can find out exactly what I did. So this video, just look at for the actual sounds I used, and then go back to the other one if you want to see exactly how I did it. So that was that one. Then we have. Oh, it looks like I've got a little bit of a delay on that as well. Yeah, simple delay. The second one, this is just a standard analog synth, so you can find that in let's see, instruments, analog. So what I would have done is I just would have dragged that on. That gives you this, and then those are the settings I did. So I think I've done a video how to make your own synth. That'll give you a good breakdown on how I made this. So first thing I usually do is I pitch that down an octave. Hang on, let me chuck it on. And then I muck around with the frequency, the resonance, until you get like a cool tone, and then just muck around with it. You don't have to do it exactly how I've done it. That's just, I just had some fun with it, and then I just blended them all together. Mess around with your volume levels and just do what you think sounds good. So I've put an amp sim on that as well. Again, all these things are just from Ableton. So I think if you go to MIDI effects, no, audio effects, and then amp, that's what that is. And then I selected lead, messed around with the effects there. Again, I put a delay on and a big reverb. Synth lead tone 2. Let's see what this is. Zardos. So that would be in the sounds somewhere. The amp sim is inactive. Again, a big reverb, and it looks like I've just got a little bit of EQ on that just to take off a bit of the top end. It's that one. Oh, sorry, that was the previous one. That's that one. Zardos. Synth lead high. What's this one? So before the plunge, I think we had one of those before. This might be playing in a different octave. And a lot of these things are just playing the same thing, just duplicated. And then again, when you put them all together, it sounds pretty cool. So before the plunge, I've got an amp sim on that, reverb and EQ, and you can see I've filtered off a bit more of the top end on that. So I took off all that stuff just to bring it in a little bit. Then I've got just the sub bass, and yep, hip hop bass. That's one of my favorite sub bass sounds. I don't think I did anything to that. Just left it the way it was. Voice. Alrighty, for this, I'm using, so I've got a reverb on there. There's the settings for it. So I'm using Kontakt, which is a plugin you use to load up all your sound libraries, for anyone who doesn't know. So you just say you've got a violin sound library, or you've got a brass sound library or drum sound library or whatever. You need a plugin like Kontakt to be able to play those sound libraries. So through Kontakt, I've got Aetherra Gold Action Synth. And no, so through that, I'm using Aetherra Gold True Legato. And then from here, you can select what kind of tone you wanted to have, what kind of vowel shape. actually sounds cool. So that's what I used for the vocal. Then I've got some synth effects. Let's see what these are. Okay, so these guys are, you'll find a lot of them just in Ableton under Ambient and Evolving. So what I do when I'm making soundtracks like this, once you get the vibe and you get the tone, I just go through like these sounds. And then when I find something that I think sounds good, I'll load that up and then I'll play around and see what octave sounds nice and just have fun with it. But do your own thing as well. You don't have to copy this exactly to a T. This is just my process. But you can make it better. You know, do your own thing, add your own little flair. Like even me, I didn't do exactly what I could hear in the song. I kind of just did what I thought sounded pretty cool. So yeah, have fun with it, do your own thing, and you come up with something, and I'm sure you'll come up with something cooler than I did. So for that sound, what have I got? All Alone Pad. There's the settings for it. Again, a big reverb, and it looks like I've just got a bit of a compressor on that. Don't need to do that. It's probably just to control the transients a little bit. Next one, I've got another SFX. Big reverb. What am I using here? So through Kontakt. Okay, Core. So this is another sound library. So it's Core Synth. So all of these things are with Aetherra Gold. So if you got the Aetherra Gold sound library, yeah, you'll find all these things in there. All right, then I had some chimes. Here they are, chimes. All right, this sound library. So this is another plugin to load up sound libraries. So these sound libraries are a pack we got a really long time ago. I can't even remember when or exactly what it was. I don't know how you'd be able to find this, to tell you the truth. It's some pack that we got from maybe from a friend. I can't really remember. Maybe somebody from uni gave me a pack of sounds, and in this one there's all percussion stuff. But that's just chimes. So you can find chimes anywhere. If you go into the drum section, or you just type in chimes. Let's see, chimes. Let's see, chimes effects. Let's see. There you go. Chimes finger down. You can use that, or record some real chimes. You know, go on Amazon, order some chimes, and record them. All right. So for the strings, I'm using Albion 1. So for the basses, I've got Albion 1, and then strings low, and then I've set that to long, which should be this long, sustained. And then as you work your way up the orchestra, you know, you'll switch from, you know, your basses to your cello, to your violas, to your violins, second violins. And if you're not too familiar with string sections, you know, I should do a video actually. I'll make a video on how to write for strings. But until then, you can kind of use your sound library as an indicator. So if you're playing in your strings low section, that would be your basses and say your cello. And you can, you know, use your ear as well, so you can hear the tone. Usually with those instruments, you can hear different tones. So the cello is more mid-range, so that's most likely cello. Maybe some violas in there. Could even be violins. Violins can play low as well. But what I do is I'll set my strings basses to low. My cello I'll also do low, and then I've got violas first violins, second violins, and then I'll use, I'll just show you. So I'll use for them, it's Albion 1 again, and then you can see their strings high, which is right there. And so for this song I've set them to long. You can select different patterns. So you've got your short, like your stabs, legato, ostinato, some Batman. But yeah, have some fun with it. Like you don't have to, if you're using my version as, use it as a guide, but do your own thing as well. Yeah. Like I'm sure you can make something better than I have. Don't try and make it exactly the same. Like you come up with your own things. That's how you come up with cool stuff. Like I didn't listen to the song and just go, I'm going to do exactly what I can hear. I added in my own flair to it. But yeah, do what you think sounds good. You might like if there's some, I don't know. You might like if there's things like that. But yeah, just have some fun with it. You've got the whole orchestra. You've got a million sounds here to play with. All right, brass, same kind of thing. So I've got here. I've got some nasty brass. So Albion 3. So that's a different sound library. And I'm pretty sure I set that to, yeah, there you go, long nasty. That's what it's meant to be on. I can't remember the progression. But anyway, that's what I used for that. Then same thing with the brass. When you're writing brass sections, you've got the low part of the orchestra, which would be like your tubas, trombones, and then as you work up, you've got your horns, then your trumpets above your horns. So yeah, same sort of thing as I was saying before with the strings. Where are we? So here you go, brass low, and then brass high. So when you're writing like trumpet parts, you'd use your high, or you're writing horn parts, you'd use your mid, because they're like a mid-range instrument. So set that to long. But anyway, have some fun, do your own thing. What's next? So choir. Again, this is, I'm using S for Xando. Now a lot of these sounds, so this one's choral R's. But for a choir, I'm sure you could find in Ableton choir, or you can even use a pad. But anyway, that's what that is. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly where I've gotten that sound from. Exactly, it's just a choir sound library. Okay, for my drums, I use this. I highly recommend Action Strikes. There's so many cool things in here. Like when my brother and I do film scores, we often start, like if there's a big action scene, or I don't know, something where we want some big drums, straight away we go to this. And this is really good, because if you go to ensemble, for example, you can hold one key down and you'll get like some cool sounding drums. And there's all different rhythms. And then you can change your sound. So I was using Dark City. There's all these to go through. Rise of the Machines, War Ensemble. And they're all different patterns. And then you can switch. So this is 16th notes. You can switch to 8th note triplets. You get different time signatures. So you can go 6/8, 5/8, 7/8. all different kinds of stuff you can do there. So I was using, I wasn't using Ensemble for this song. I was using Hits, and they were like low impact stuff. So let's see. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I used this. And they're all just within. And they're all just within this thing. So you got big cinematic hits. You got cymbals in here. You've got mystic percussion. There's some chimes there, and that is it, guys. So what's this one? That's the same thing. Let's just double check. Kontakt. There you go. Action Strikes. Big cinematic hits. Yeah, that's it. Well, that's everything, guys. I hope that helped. Sorry it took me so long to get around to doing this video. It's been a big year. Worked on a few feature films, short films, which was very, very fun. It was just a lot happening. So I'm sorry it took me so long to get around to this. There was a lot of you asking for me to do this, so I hope I've done it justice. If there's anything I've missed, just let me know. And let me know what you want to see next. The next video I'm working on is I'm going to do the F1 main theme. I'm going to try some fun with that one. So I'm a big Brad Pitt fan, Hans Zimmer fan, so that movie's like the jackpot for me. Car racing, you can't go wrong. But yeah, so I hope this helped. Feel free to take your screenshots or pause the video. You know, you can copy the settings I did. But feel free to do your own thing. Like, I'm sure you'll come up with something cooler on your own. You know, use this as a starting point, but have some fun with it yourself. You might have different sound libraries that give you some better sounding strings, or better choir, or a better brass section. But yeah, use your ear as well. You don't have to just copy my notes exactly. Do your own thing. You might discover something that I've missed. Like even now, when I hear the song back, I'm like, oh, I missed that. There's an extra horn section in there that I didn't hear the first time. So I think I did this like a year ago. But yeah, there's all the sounds. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.